like unstable. And so I never really I guess I never really considered that I had like a true crease on the right side of my eye. But now after using yours, it's like still it's like strong and like there. And like even when I wake up, it's like still there. And so yeah, it's pretty nice to like um see the progress, you know?
How long did it take?
I think it was roughly 6 months.
Yeah, that's generally the time. Did you try other stuff before?
I just put on like regular eyelid tape,
Hmm.
and that I would have to keep on the whole day. And then when I
Yeah.
take it off at night, my eyelid would just like disappear, the crease.
So it goes back to like a single eyelid or like a smaller double eyelid.
Sometimes it would be single, and then sometimes it would just be like a weak crease.
So you use other tapes before for how long?
Mm, I want to say maybe a year. So yeah,
Yeah.
I used to have like mono eyelids on both eyes. And then I started using it last year, maybe like just before the pandemic hit. And then
Hmm.
it fully formed on the left side, but the right side was like I had no luck.
Holy cow. Okay, so you're like one of the really lucky few that can actually use regular eyelid tapes and get
Yeah.
results in a year. So for sure, if you were to do Optifold like on both eyes, it kind of proves like Optifold is more effective, right?
Mhm.
So maybe you said it took a year, so maybe it would have taken less or something, right?
Yeah,
But
maybe.
yeah, but nonetheless, it looks like you have the right face shape and the eyelid profile to make double eyelids naturally. So that's good. And just for some reason, like regular tapes didn't work on is it left eye, right?
My right eye.
So your right eye was the one that you had to use Optifold on, right?
Yeah.
So regular tapes somehow wasn't effective enough to work on your right eye, but it did work on your left. So when regular tapes can work, and it's not that often it could, I've noticed that it's due to the person's face shape, you know,
Oh.
the geometry. Yeah. So typically, if you have like a narrow face shape, like I guess mine and yours and other people too, those are a lot easier to work on. And it goes for the same thing for surgery. Certain face shapes, the surgical procedure is much more reliable
Mm.
compared to other face shapes. Yeah. So
Oh,
that's really good. Yeah.
that's
So
interesting. Because I actually have an asymmetrical face. So
mm,
like my left side is actually more slim than my right. So I'm
mm,
wondering if that's why my left side formed more easier,
I gotta see your full
maybe.
picture then. Is it really that asymmetric? Okay,
It's
help
not
me.
it's not it's not that noticeable, but when I just see
Yeah.
myself in the mirror, I can see that my right is more bigger.
Okay, I gotta see it. But you know, like, because we've been observing ourselves, you know, for a long time in the mirror. So we
Yeah.
really know the details. And sometimes we exaggerate the details too, right? Depending
Yeah.
on the personality type and whatever we're going through in that stage in life during that time, right?
Hmm.
So when the eyelid that you were using Optifold on, so you said
Uh-huh.
sometimes it goes to like a single eyelid. This is I guess this is before using Optifold.
Yeah.
How did it feel to have like, because I get uneven eyelids, but I almost too afraid to let it go into a single eyelid, like my difficult eye.
Mhm.
Did you go to a point of time where you're like, I guess I'm gonna accept it the way it is?
No, I didn't want to accept it. So I
Yeah.
just
How did it feel? Like, how did it make you feel? Because you know you're like you can relate more as a double eyelid for both eyes, and then when you sometimes back then, unfortunately, like you're like, oh, today's a bad day, right? Bad eyelid day. How
yeah.
did it? Because
I
some people
felt
don't even understand. You won't believe how some cultures they don't know what Asians are talking about.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the days that it wouldn't form, I felt really I don't know what the word is, but I didn't feel like that day was my day. And like I
Mm,
honestly didn't even want to go out. Because I just looked weird with like uneven eyelids.
mm.
So yeah, or I just had to like put on eyelids, and sometimes I would even put on two eyelid tapes to make it even stronger, but I don't think it worked.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes people using Optifold, like because it's a little bit of an inconvenience to use the end tape, but it's more effective. But they don't figure that out. Some of them they like to just use the F tape, and it's the same thing. Like when you just use the F tape, like yours, you're doubling down on the regular tapes, just trying to make it
Uh-huh.
bigger. It's not effective. Like the results just prove it's not effective. You need to have a little bit, I guess, although the eyelid skin is thin and it's very susceptible to changes, but just the F tape alone just is not enough, actually, not enough stimulation. You need to have the extra tape piece, like the end tape. Um, was it easy to learn? Was it like when you heard about this idea, what was your first thing that you thought about? Because back then my website, I'm not sure it was the same, but what were you thinking when you first saw my website?
I when I first saw it, I I didn't exactly think it was a scam, but
Okay.
I was just like, how is this possible without surgery? Because I was always considering doing maybe surgery, but at the same time, I didn't want to like put any knives on my face. Um,
Mm,
and so yeah, I was just like looking up how to make my crease stronger and stuff. And then I just like coincidentally found yours,
mm.
Optifold. And so
How? YouTube or I don't know.
I
That
think I
popped up.
found it online first, and then I was just doing research, and then I found out you had a YouTube too.
I think my dream is one day I get to talk to the people in person, you know?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I didn't consider how weird it was, like just doing this online and I never get to see anybody. Um, and then I have to try to text you the instructions. So
Yeah.
it's a lot easier if I can just meet up and just put the tapes on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I was getting almost jealous of barbers because they get to talk to the clients, right? And
Yeah.
you're doing this online because previously to get the results, you go to a clinic, right?
Right.
Suddenly, there's this idea, you go to the website, you're like, okay, what made it convincing? Because some people say that this looks like a scam. What made it convincing for you that you trusted?
Um, I think I just watched a lot of your videos, like the videos of other people's results,
Mm,
and that I think that bought me.
okay. Now that you know it's so hard for the uneven eyelids to come back,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like when you get into puberty, suddenly you know, oh, I'm permanently changing.
Yeah.
Did it impact you in any way like that, or was it just something where you're like, okay, good, I don't have to worry about this uneven eyelid anymore? How is it now that it's so hard for the uneven eyelids to come back?
Um, uh, I think it's more of the second option that you just said, but I do
Mm,
feel a sense of relief now that I don't really have
yeah,
to worry about having uneven eyelids and going
mm,
out feeling that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you were to say go to Chinatown right now and say, "Oh, I did it," people would be like, they'll put you in the hospital. They'll be like,
Yeah,
"What are you
that's
talking about,
funny.
Carol? You think you're a scam us or something?"
Yeah,
So,
I didn't even tell anybody that I was using Optifold actually because I wanted to
yeah.
try it out first and see if it really worked. I didn't really want to tell any like my friends or my even my family that I was
What?
that I was
Why? Why? This sounds funny. Why didn't you want to tell people? Asians will understand it's okay. Just say it.
I don't know. I just felt like I would be judged. Just because
Hmm.
they never heard of it too. Yeah, so I wanted to try it out first and see if it really worked, and then I would like tell them about it.
Is that your general personality, or is it because it's this topic? I don't want to mention it until it's done.
I think it's both. Because yeah, eyelids, I'm a little bit insecure about it. And yeah, I'm just a little bit insecure about my eyelids. And it's also my personality for anything, not just this. Yeah, I always like to try it out first and then talk about it.
So Naya, are you gonna talk about it?
Yeah.
You will? Are you gonna tell your
Yeah.
family? I've been doing this for the past 6 months. I
Yeah.
kept it a secret.
I mean, I know that they've seen me with the eyelid tape on, your Optifold tape on, but they
Mm.
never really asked me or they were never curious because they never really asked me about it. But now I can just be like,
Holy
oh,
moly.
yeah,
Oh
because
my
they've
gosh.
always seen me with like the regular tapes on. So I guess they were
Okay.
just used to it. But I do know that the Optifold tapes, they're a little bit different. They do make
Mhm.
my eyes look bigger when I put the tape on. So I thought they would notice and say something, but they never did, especially with
Yes.
the end tape on.
Mm. Yeah.
But I guess they never came in my room to see. So
I think maybe they're also because they're Asian, so they
yeah.
respect like this topic.
Yeah.
Um, don't worry, it's she's in her phase where this stuff matters, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone had that phase unless you already had reliable double eyelids and you're wondering what's the big fuss, right? What's the fuss
Right.
about? If your eyelid profile is like different from reliable double eyelids, then
Hmm.
one day or another it crossed your mind like, I wonder, is there any product for this, right?
Uh-huh.